What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. We're ready to continue with the Mountaintops of the Giants, and there's a couple things we're going to be hitting this episode. So the very first, we're going to be just kind of going northeast in this ravine. We have another seed that is like right on over here-ish. Then there should be a grace right around here that we're going to get. And then after that, we're heading all the way out here to that final request with Juno. Knock that out and get that out of the way. So either way, I want to mount on up and then head on out. Now this area, there's really not much to worry about in terms of loot. I mean, there's a seed out there, as I mentioned. There's some smithing stuff that we can get utilizing one of the golems to break open a thing. But in terms of like, oh, snake over here for a grease or a golden rune, there's not a lot. Like, to be honest, this area it's big, but it's very empty. So if you want to kill those golems, you can. They're going to respawn. They're just, normal golems. But just kind of run on through. We're going to head on over to that number 1 marker we made. A couple just stray demi-humans out here. And if you've been following the guide, this should be the last seed you need to get max flasks. Now, we're still going to be picking up other seeds in the game. The game has an excess of seeds. This is kind of why back at the start I said, it's not really worth taking a seed as a starter gift, because if you grab them all at the end of the game, you have like an extra 10 seeds or so. Wake that guy up, and we're just going to run over here. You can already see the shiny in the statue. Just going to hang out. Eventually he'll get over here, swing his halberd, pop that open. I believe it's 3 smithing 7s. Obviously still a little bit sick, but I'm hopped up on Dayquil and like Zycam and everything else. This cold, we're getting rid of this cold fast. I don't have time to be sick. There's a walkthrough to get done. Oh, that's good. He just charged over where we want him. Okay, now just go over here. Come on, I'm right here. No, I'm not over there. Not over there. There we go. Good boy. All right, there's our smithing 7s. Don't want that fire hit. I mean, it's not going to kill you, but obviously no one wants to get torched. We'll hop on up and head over towards number 2. And right there, you can see we have a grace waiting for us. Actually, I guess I could get y'all seppuku. I was going to get it in like the next episode. It's just right out there. But, of course, there's also the thing, the look around, see stuff thing. But take those markers off. And now we're just heading on out there. And it's just right at the bottom of this valley. So we're just going to go straight through the valley, run on over. And then after we get that, we're also going to, well, we'll basically get a full closure on the Volcano Manor, wrap all of that up. Kind of heading out west, and there's a couple enemies here. There's a bunch of bats fighting demi-humans, and you can kill them if you want. You can let them fight to get some free runes, but there's no real items to be concerned with. The main things are, we have Hoslow, there's some loot in the Lofty Shack, some loot on a nearby giant's corpse. We'll just snatch all that stuff up, and then we'll invade Hoslow and take him out. Now keep in mind, when you're doing these Volcano Manor things, and this is especially relevant now since we're kind of getting towards the end and our stats are min-maxed and whatnot, when we invade, we are not going to have our Great Rune active. So my health is going to be down 5, my dex is going to be down 5, my strength is going to be down 5, and that's why I took that time. You can see the sign right there. That's why I've respec'd already to have those stats a little bit higher, because I want those stats to still be active even without the Great Rune effect. And we're actually going to be changing that up probably pretty soon. Either Morgott's Great Rune, or even I could probably go where I'm at on this playthrough. I could probably go to the Redon Great Rune. It would probably help out pretty well now that my stats are all kind of up there. So grab all this stuff here. It's just stray loots that are sitting on these corpses. There is a spirit spring over there you can use to get up top, but we're going to get up to that area later, so don't worry about it for now. Instead, head on over for the invasion. So this guy uses bleed whips, definitely something to be careful of. You should be able to take him out pretty easily with a little bit of just aggression here. Typically I wouldn't suggest using that in PvP, but this is, you know, technically this is an NPC. Oh no, the blood loss buildup. Oh man, that's disappointing. So this is Diallos' brother. There's Diallos and there's Juno, whereas Diallos is kind of a scrub. His brother is actually pretty deadly, as you saw right there. But this gives me a good chance to change my Great Rune around, because that benefits. I mean, as you saw, the Great Rune effect stopped being active, and all of a sudden I was fat rolling. So great thing is we're just right here. We can just bait again. Go ahead and just take this off. I need to get to where I can drop my source seal, because that's making me take a lot of damage. So we're close to that, but I still need it on for the time being. There we go. Big difference when we're not fat rolling. Okay, so we get his pedal whip as well as the full armor set. Pretty good looking armor. But with him down, we are going to warp on over to Volcano Manor, and we'll turn in that final quest. On over, talk to Tanith.
I see this is your...
And take his cameo, which is actually pretty good. Go ahead and select See the Lord.
I will transport.
At this point, we have wrapped up all of the side quests here. We did Patches, we did Burnholtz, we did you know, the actual Volcano Manor assassination. So we are set. We are ready to kill Rykard. So that talisman we just got, just to talk about that briefly, because it is a pretty good one. As you can see over there, restore HP upon defeating enemies. So just in terms of progress, as you're progressing through the game, this effect is active, and it helps. It definitely does help. So might be something worth considering. I'm actually gonna put that on, I guess, because I don't want to have my... I mean, you can see the damage difference when I remove the source seal, just how much that's pulling down my stats. I mean, I get down to 0 lightning. I'd rather have the actual defense. So go ahead and take off your weapons, and I would suggest you absolutely have Mimic ready for this. It's going to help out a lot. As soon as we come in, kind of hard to miss it, right? Grab the Serpent Hunter, and then make sure once that's equipped, then someone can run it. Now we're going to have both you and the Mimic will have the Serpent Hunter. So this is a gimmick fight. Every Souls game has one of these. This just happens to be this one. I personally like doing the weapon art twice, because the second hit on the weapon art hits super hard, as you can see. I've had friends say that just doing jump heavies is going to be best. I don't know, man. I feel that the jump attacks are going to be best. But yeah, so this whole fight, you don't really need to worry about actually fighting this thing. It's just you're going to be beating it with this unique spear that we gained access to coming into the arena. Snake actually tries to attack you. Obviously, you want to get out of the way. But for the most part, this fight's just, you know, using that stuff. So obviously, make sure you have enough cerulean tears to continue using it. And even the light attacks, those will still thrust. So. The biggest thing is just beat the snake with the magical serpent spear. So after we beat the snake, it's not quite over yet. Rykard is going to emerge from the snake as his big old sword. And you can actually like try and fight this legit if you want. There's really no reason to. I mean, they give you the serpent devourer thing for a reason. It's, you know, Dark Souls 3 we had Yorm, Demon Souls we had Storm King. It's pretty much always one of these gimmicky type fights where you're given a weapon of god-slaying capabilities and then to just kill some big gigantic boss that's too big for you to typically fight. You can see, for the most part, I mean, there's a couple things that you want to dodge, but you know, you're not really gonna be. I mean, as late as we're doing this fight, you know, we're not being threatened by this at all. And what's nice is because of how gimmicky this fight is, if you're not interested in any of the gear, you can actually do this fight quite early to knock him out. And you get, you know, very significant amount of runes out of it. You get access to a really solid weapon. But of course you're missing out on stuff like the pedal whip, that armor, all of that. But grab the eye surcoat. There's some dialogue about, you know, serpent will never die, blah blah blah. Go ahead and grab this grace. And then we're gonna hop back over to the Volcano Manor and just kind of wrap things up with everyone that's there. Want to talk to her, she'll say, she'll put back our stuff. Back on our stuff.
It's true that no defeat is until then.
Okay. Just wonder how far am I off? Ugh, I'm gonna actually need to get my endurance up a bit. Without the thingy, let's see. So it's somewhere between 30 and 35. I'll hit the required equipment load that I need to use it. So I'll have to just keep you on for the time being. Especially if I'm changing the Great Rune.
I suggest I will miss the champion. I always...
So yeah, run through her dialogue. She's going to talk about how she's leaving now. Then we're just going to talk to the NPCs, kind of close out some loops here.
Perhaps a time for now. The demigod find me. Well... Bye, my friend. What is? Oh, come to make up.
If there's anything you want from Patches, he of course is about to leave, so you know, get stuff now if you need it. I'm sure I'll buy these from you.
Cheers for that.
Go on over here. And you may remember there was a dude back here that told us about the spear, so now that Rykard is dead, we have the My Thanks emote. And here, Dialos has already left.
So I harbor even he, but any road that we may, we hunted and with everything. Oh, I am the we refused.
He is all set.
I am the we refused.
He is gonna leave. After he leaves, a sword is gonna still be here that you can interact with to buy stuff from him. But so that's done. Let's see. My thanks, War Master. Okay, next we're going to hop over to here, the Castellan's Hall at the Shaded Castle. And with that place done, Patches has left, and he is over here.
Oh, you again. A shame. Oh, I should no matter. Gullible, yes. Make certain. Oh, it's come on. You're a then.
All right, so when we leave here, Patches goes somewhere. As of now, patch 1.03, no one's really sure because we talked to Patches. He doesn't have any more dialogue. And then if we go over to the Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, we can find Tanith over here. Tanith is eating his corpse. But the thing is, she doesn't get anything from patches. So, you know, we give her the castanets. I have no need for that. I must continue devouring. Her dialogue is seemingly unchanged. So, I'm going to guess this is another quest that is just not finished. I mean, 1.03, they updated a bunch of different quests. You know, nobody knows how to advance this, so it's probably just unfinished for the time being. So just something to keep in mind for subsequent playthroughs. Maybe they'll add more onto this, but until then I can't do anything. But what I can do is smack the shit out of her. And by doing that, we are going to get a Crucible Knight that is then going to summon up. And with that Crucible Knight, if we kill him, we get a spell. He has access to the final Crucible incantation, the Flame Breath one, so. Sweet as ass. Slow. Those slower wind-ups always get me. So there we go. Aspect of the Crucible Breath. So we actually got something out of killing her. And you know, maybe a New Game Plus request will be done or something. We get the Consort's Mask, the robe, and the trousers as well. So with that done, if we go back to where Patches was, he's gone. No one has seemingly found him yet, so, you know, hopefully, hopefully it's something that gets fixed up. We could also wrap up Nepheli. Let's go do her quest. Right here. And this quest, we could have actually done this as soon as we were done Morgott, but I was just kind of waiting for a good time, and since we're closing the loop on other quests, now is a good time for it. So the conditions for this, we need to have given her the Stormhawk Ashes, which we did, and Kenneth needs to have been over here talking about, like, I will find a proper heir. Now, if they don't move to here, and this has been a lot of people have been confirmed this is a little bit buggy, what we're going to do is open up these doors, and then we're going to rest, and then that should trigger and get them to move. Assuming they're not already behind the doors. I doubt they are, because I never opened the doors and triggered them to begin with. So now that the doors are open, let's just go to this grace. We're going to rest. Let's pass time until noon. See if I see them in there. Let's check. They should be, because his icon isn't over here anymore. And yes, they are. Okay, so head on inside. If you didn't kill, well, let me go through this. So talk to her.
I must thank. I told Far. I remember this land is. I will call. Again, some call me though I have now. I cannot express.
Get the ancient dragon smithing stone out of her. That's used to turn weapons into plus 25. And talk to Kenneth.
Lady enough such for the time at which time I raising. I hope it is.
And if you didn't kill Gestak, he is also in here, and you can buy another one of those ancient dragon smithing stones for him for 20,000 runes. So it's worth keeping them alive because they are kind of rare. The Sombrings are rarer. I think you get, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I want to say you can get like 12-ish of these per playthrough, whereas the Sombring ones you can only get 10. So, I mean, it's still worth doing, for sure. You know, an extra ancient dragon smithing stone is always good. But with that, we have now wrapped up all of the Volcano Manor has been done with all the side quests there, and the Nepheli quest chain is done. Of course, the Ranni quest line is done. In fact, the only quest lines that are still ongoing are Millicent's, Alexander's, and Brother Corin's, I believe. So let's head back to the Round Table Hold. And if you are playing a Faith build, we are about to get you one of the best weapons in the game. Go on and talk to her. Blasphemous Blade. This thing is absolutely insane. The special is a huge fiery AoE. It's going to rip a ton of health back into you. Highly, highly suggested. I mean, I've been talking about how like a lot of weapons are kind of dookie. This is the polar opposite. This is easily one of the best, if not the best weapon in the game. It is phenomenally strong. Cannot recommend it enough. Rykard's Rancor, on the other hand, this is a little goofy. It's very cool conceptually. The idea is the skull just kind of like weaves towards a target, and then there's a bunch of timed explosions afterwards. The problem is that if whatever you're fighting moves, all of the damage just misses. So, wouldn't recommend that. Super duper recommend this. We're not playing Faith, so I'm not going to be getting that. But yeah, it is very good. Of course, we've killed some other champions. So the Briar set's here now. We can get that if we wanted. Mix our armor up a little bit. Let's see. We are going to... Well, I'll go sell it. I also want to try upgrading my hammer a bit. Let's see. Turn of Remembrance. Head to Stormvale.
Well, I took you no matter. It's lay out your own.
Lay out your arms, then. Here, we'll sell you for 50,000. Okay, can I get more? No, I'm waiting on the 8s. Obviously don't worry about upgrading this. It does damage just fine. Yeah, I mean, it's if you really want to use it, you can, but like this isn't something you typically use as a real weapon. It's a gimmick weapon. So 318,000, that should be enough. I'm really hoping I can hit my threshold. Let's find out. Ugh, fat rolls. Let's level up endurance. Well, hang on, let me see. We gotta do the calculator here. So I've mentioned this trick before, but so our equip load right now is 69.9. Well, actually, let me see. You are 11.5. You are 10. You are 12. So let's put this on. That puts us at 70.4. So I want 70.4 divided by 0.69 is 102. Now, since I'm also getting this, we're going to do 102 divided by 1.18, because that's an 18% boost. It's made 86.4, and this is a 6.5% increase, so divided by 1.065 is 81.2. So now if I go and I level up, I need my max load to get to 82.2 to not have a fat roll, which I think I'm there with the Radigans. Yeah, that'll boost me up enough. Well, I mean, we gotta put points there anyway. Let's just put them in and we'll get there eventually. There we go. It's slowly getting me closer. I'll still have to use... Oh no, wait. Is my math off? Find that. I don't know. My math was off. I don't know. Anyway, we're at medium equipment load now, though. That's what I wanted. So, oh no, we're at medium because I don't have one of these on. What do we want? We don't need the Scar Seal anymore. The current stats. So let's instead go for... Ooh, I can go Raid Shield Talisman just because that's funny. We'll do that. Let's see. Next, we're going to warp over here. Divine Tower of West Altus. Still need to get my stats a little bit higher because I'm getting that 5 points from the Great Rune. I want to have the stat thresholds I need without that being active. Okay, so my math wasn't completely off. I'm heavy load with that, but not with my Bloodhound Fang. And ride this up will activate his Great Rune. It's very similar to like the Taker's Cameo. So I'm pretty sure all those effects stack. So you could use the Great Rune, Taker's Cameo, and the Blasphemous Blade, and you're just getting back like massive chunks of health as you kill enemies. And I think we're going to... yeah, yeah, we'll get the map uncovered. That way next episode we can hit Mountaintops of the Giants in earnest, and we'll have everything revealed. For the time being, I still recommend fire on this. There's going to be a lot of fire stuff up here. And it makes sense, fire giant and all that. There we go. Pretty cool effect on this, but not all that needed, just to look at them. So, HP upon defeating enemies. We've already mentioned this is HP, FP, stamina. And then Morgott's is massive to the HP. Honestly, once we hit our stat caps to where we don't need that extra 5 points, then we'll take this off. But I need to get 5 more into Vigor. I need to get 5 more into Dex. I'd like to get Strength back up. And I'd actually lose my Faith in Arcane. So this one's probably going to be pretty good for this current build, just because I have the Dragon Breaths on. But anyway, with all that done, we're going to go back over here to Freezing Lake. And what we're going to be doing is looping around. We're going to get a Grace right here, and then we're going to go right over to here. So those are our 2 points. Put my other notes here, and yes, we are coming up on one of your trophies this episode. We should get the final spell we need for the legendary sorceries and incantations. I think I bought Grails already. If I didn't, I'll have to go buy it, but... so there's not much to worry about. We're going to be going through this area a little bit more in depth later. For now, just kind of run on through. Oh, I can't fit. It's sad. Lots of undead dudes. Alright, grab that Grace. There we go. And now we're going to go back to marker number 2. And this will help if you're on online mode, but right here there is an invisible bridge, so we can run straight across pretty much. And as long as you are that you know, I guess those 2 pillars, those 2 columns, as long as you're aiming straight towards that, you're good. Now the tricky part is there is an invisible staircase that's kind of up that way where you can see the stuff. And so being online helps because you'll be able to see the bloodstains and the messages. But what we're going to do is just start tossing out these stones. That will get me killed. Toss it this way. There. Staircase might be farther back. The hardest part of this is finding where the invisible staircase starts. Well, I think we might have got it. Let's... And you can see I'm just moving and stoning, and moving and stoning. These very small steps. You can kind of see the path a little bit now from the mist, but we're just going to continue stoning. And this is how you ultimately, I mean, it's kind of cool looking back and seeing them all float like that, but this is how you find invisible paths. There are very few in the game. This is one of them. But so now you're up at Heretical Rise. We got some baddies to kill. Ow, stop it. them. Head on up the stairs. And as with all these towers, we're going to go around. Just ignore that guy. We'll get to him later if he decides to come up. And here in the chest is the Founding Rain of Stars, and that should get you your Legendary Sorceries and Incantations trophy. Now, just to recap, in case you missed one, Flame of the Fell God was back at the jail, all the way back in the area here. We'll do a quick map check here. So, Flame of the Fell God, right here, Malefactor's Everjail. After that, we got, well, you could have gotten whenever, but Grail's Roar. At Grail's Roar, you had to kill Grail over here, and then pick it up over here at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. We got Comet Azure, which that was from talking to Primeval Sorcerer Azure over here. We picked up Founding Rain of Stars, obviously where we just were in the mountains. We got Elden Stars back in the caves. So that was kind of like right up in here. That little cave we went in. We grabbed, that's where we got that. Ronnie's Dark Moon, of course, we got over here at Chilona's Rise. And then the last one was Stars of Ruin, which we got following Selen's quest line and going up into the Celia Hideaway. So if you missed one, that's where they are. If you did miss one, you've already beat the game, you can get it on New Game Plus. However, one character needs to have all of these. For all of these, like, all legendary achievements, it can't be like you get 6 on one guy and then you get the 7th on another. That won't work. You need to have all legendary weapons or all legendary spells on one singular character. However many new games it takes, even if you have to go to New Game Plus 3, that's fine. You just have to get them all on one guy. So let's go and ride this down. And while we're out here, we're going to take another quick loop here. We're just going to go grab a map, and that's where we'll wrap up. But just to kind of show it, right over here, you can already see it. We're just going to be running straight for that map marker. Get rid of that one. I think there might be a sombering as we're leaving this. There's one grace we're going to grab along the way. And this will make our things a lot easier when it comes time to, like, properly go through this zone. So we'll be able to mark up everything on the map. We're going to clear all this stuff a little bit later. Just run on through. As long as you're fast too, you shouldn't have any issues. That prelate, I mean, well, a lot of the stuff here can be pretty deadly if you give it a chance, but we're not worried about it right now. Our map marker, and there's our grace. And now looking at the map, we have the full Mountaintops of the Giants uncovered. Now I know you're like, hang on, there's a whole nother zone, and you're correct, there is. That is not the Mountaintops of the Giants though, that's the Consecrated Snowfield. So we'll get to that a little bit later. We have to get through most of Giants first before we reach that. But so now we have Giants uncovered. From here, we are going to head back over here to Freezing Lake, and that is where we will wrap up. Now, there's really nothing you can mess up around here. If you want to, go ahead, push it. The only thing I will say is, well, I guess you can even if you get over here and you kill the boss and you burn the Erd Tree, you should be fine as long as you don't beat the boss of the subsequent zone for Rumazula. But yeah, so we're wrapping up here, and I will catch you all soon with some more.